Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Brood for Life podcast. So, this episode, Joe's with me again for another joint effort.
Hi.
And we're going to get into something that it's a part of my life, it's part of Joe's life, and that's the gym. Joe and I are pretty religious at making sure that we make time to get into the gym on a very regular basis. But anybody who's ever been in a corporate gym, or any kind of a gym outside of your house, there's always things that go on in this place that if I had hair, it would make you pull your hair out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been in and out of gyms probably since I was 19. There are several things that go on in every single fucking gym I've ever been in.
It's a cesspool ecosystem.
Well, it's definitely not the place to go if you're a gym.
It's a cess ocean.
It's gross.
It's what it is.
When I first started going to the gym, there was no set. Like, there were spray bottles and stuff, but nobody wiped anything down. You maybe wiped the bench down if you were sweaty, greasy, disgusting fuck and you were benching or something. And there, like, you left that embodied print on a bench or whatever equipment you were using. Nobody ever wiped anything down. We wiped the dust and stuff off of it, but that was about it. That was the most cleaning that got done on benches or bars or equipment or any of that kind of thing.
Unless you were disgusting when you got off, that was the time you would wipe it down. If you were just a sweaty beast that gets on a machine, gets on a bench, and you leave a trail of your essence behind, that's when you clean it off. That's when you wipe it.
That's when you wipe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're COVID. Yeah. Then you had to wipe everything down. And the fact of the matter is that if you're in a gym, you're probably sweating. You should be sweating. It's some capacity.
It's a fair chance.
And when your body gets warm, pores open up to release heat and sweat.
I didn't know this was a science-based show. Go on.
If you're a germaphobe, a gym is not a place for you. Or wear gloves or do whatever, which gloves are a whole nother thing for different people. Some people are pro glove. Some people are anti-glove. I've tried gloves. I've never been a glove person. It just feels weird to me.
I'm not sure why anybody be anti-glove. Like, a fair amount of distrust for glove or anti-glove is an extreme that I just don't buy in. I don't wear gloves myself, but
I don't feel like it's weird to say, I don't feel like I'm connected to what I'm doing with the gloves on.
right.
It's just, it's a little piece of leather. It's not even a real big thing.
No amount of fingerless gloves is gonna sway me.
No. And the fingerless gloves kind of remind me of rock. Like, it's even just walking down the street, bouncing the ball, just like homeless people. I don't know.
Like, I just
whatever.
Yeah.
The least important part of thing about going to the gym. What I do want to get into is multiple different topics of things that you have to deal with when you're in a social gym atmosphere.
Okay.
First, why don't people re-rack their weights?
Better leave that in. Why don't they? Because they're assholes. That's like, so the most I can see people not re-racking and be acceptable, and I won't even fully accept this, is that like a leg press. Typically, you walk up to a leg press and there's the standard 45-pound plate that everybody starts with.
Yep.
And I say everybody because there's some people that don't. But
Right.
people assume that everybody's starting with the same 45, so they leave at least that on. So at least from that perspective,
I'm not mad at it.
I could understand why some people would be like, oh, well, I just won't take off the last plate.
Right.
I still do, because there's somebody who can't do the 45.
Well, in today's age, there's definitely a large group of people at different levels of their fitness that, there are some younger people that go in there that maybe haven't reached the threshold to be able to pick the 45-pound plate up to the height to get it on the leg press, let alone to get it off.
Yeah.
Not safely, at least. But when I first started going to the gym, the guy that owned my gym, he was persistent about making sure you cleaned up after yourself. Even to the point that there was a certain number of plates he wanted on each tree. And at the end of the night, he would walk and make sure that there's supposed to be 4 45s on that tree. There better not be fucking 6. And there better not be one leaning against the tree.
Was that Jim in Torrington?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, 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 no. The gym I started at was called Powerhouse, and it was in Brookfield. And the guy that owned it was a power lifter, and there was a lot of guys that power lifted in that gym.
Yep.
There were guys that were bodybuilders that also were in that gym, and then a large percentage of the people that went were just people that were just getting into fitness or, you know, somewhere in between those two areas with, why they were there. If you use an attachment, the attachment went back.
Yep.
If you used plates, plates go back where you got them from. But in like today's age, you get people that they'll use plates, they'll leave them loaded on a bar, they'll leave them loaded on a machine. They just walk away. I don't understand why there's not a level of common courtesy for the social environment that it is.
Again, people will default back to their natural character. They don't care. They don't care. Like in certain situations, at certain times of the day, a certain percentage of me is an asshole. But I will be that way towards people that deserve it. And when I'm at the gym, I am racking and re-racking. I have a sense of common courtesy that I will unrack or re-rack my weights appropriately. But I'm also not going to leave it on there for somebody in their 70s or 80s. Not saying they can't lift
Right.
that,
Right.
to go ahead and have to
Clean up after.
clean up after me, lift an unnecessarily heavy weight that they wouldn't otherwise lift and hurt them. Like I will be an asshole to most other people if need be, but not to them.
Right.
Like I've always been taught common courtesy, respect for women, children, adults, or elderly. I am going to respond in kind to those individuals at the gym, despite that being the place where I'm in the zone. Maybe I have my resting bitch face on. Like I will still do the common courtesy thing.
Well, the resting bitch face is it just says that the talker that's in the gym, it just says, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm not here for, social coffee. I'm here to better myself.
Mhm.
Don't interrupt what I'm doing.
I have that face anyway. But correct. There is a look that you have to have, an awareness of this look that I will wear over the ear headphones as opposed to earbuds, primarily because, and I like the quality better, but primarily because it's so obvious that I am entrenched in my music world
Right.
and I can't hear you.
And don't want
So
hear
you
you.
don't talk to me. And it's so obvious and it's so dramatic when you're talking to somebody and you just slowly, put the earphones or headphones back on your ears.
When I would go to the gym, I also wore the over the ear. And instead of like pulling them off, I would just uncup one ear and go, what?
Yeah, right,
Like annoyed.
right.
Like you could see I'm in the middle of something right here. Like,
Yeah.
unless you're asking to work in, which also doesn't happen anymore because once somebody's on something, they now own it. It's theirs,
Well, correct.
which is also taboo to me because everybody pays the same amount to be a member of that gym. Everybody has equal rights to using the equipment. Dumbbells might be the exception. Trying to share dumbbells with somebody, doing different exercises, that might be the exception to the rule. But like, if you're on a bench or you're on any of the machines, like when you're not actively using it,
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why somebody can't jump in and do a set, which in most parameters, while you're resting, is plenty of time for somebody else to get a set in. I'm not saying you need to share with a group of people, but one other person is pretty acceptable to.
Well, the gyms of the future, and here's my futuristic look on a gym here. The gyms of the future will have a digital board behind each machine. You put in how long, you'll be able to hit a button that says I've started my set. You'll be able to hit a button that says I'm done with my set. And then you've already input your rest time. And it's perfect for the individual as well to understand where they are. Like obviously everybody has their phones and the rest, but boom, I hit the thing, 3-minute countdown. Anybody that sees it knows that I'm during my rest period. They know they have 48 seconds left to get their set in before I start up again. You better not get in the way of my work. I don't care if anybody works in with me.
Right. Yeah. Just don't interrupt my rest.
My rhythm.
Right.
Ruin my rhythm. So like, but again, I'm not I'm not going to be a stickler. If someone wants to work in with me, I'm completely cool with it. If I modify things a little bit, but if I'm very strict about what I do, so I will say this for people that have a little notebook and they record everything and they're very strict about working out to the second.
Yep.
I completely feel for those individuals that don't want other people to work in with them because they can't control what the other person's going to do. I'm a little bit in the middle. I'm like, go ahead, work in with me. This is my frequency. So
Right.
I
That is
understand
done.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand that.
Don't be on your phone scrolling social media, sitting on, whatever machine it is that we're sharing while you know that, like, you see me looking at my watch.
Right.
You see me looking at my phone. You see me, looking to see how long my rest period has been. Be courteous to that. Like, you're in there to do work. The key thing is your heart rate. You want to keep your heart rate within a certain range so that your body remains under some level of stress or whatever your goal is. Strength, fat burning, cardio, whatever the case may be. But there's always those people that, like, I'm not going to use any of the current terminology to explain who a large percentage of these people are. But there are a large group of people now that they come in, they work out in like groups of 3s or 4s. They sit at a machine. They spend more time talking amongst themselves than they do using the machine. And then, God forbid, should you be the person that says, how many sets do you have left? Or do you mind if I work in?
Yeah.
And then they
8 sets done.
snap. Right. And then they snap back at you like, yeah, we're working here. Well, you're not.
You're not working.
You guys are mid-group hug.
If you have 4 people in a group, the level of conversation or the extent of the conversation should only be amongst 3 people. You should always have one person working.
She could really be among 2 because one of those guys should be spotting the person who's actually
For safety. I will compare it to this. If I merge into traffic or if I take a right or a left into a lane with moving traffic and I happen to cut somebody off, maybe not immediately, but there's a car moving. I will speed up or go faster than the person that I just cut off to not impede their ability to move.
Right.
So if you're going to work in with me, you have to flex with what I'm doing. And I use flex as not a pun, but you have to modify what you're doing to work in with me.
Right.
It's not the other way around. This is not the time if you have to work in for you to do an
that we're going to follow your guide.
Yeah. If you're for you to do an 8-minute drop set on a whim and just say, oh, listen, I'm just working hard. Yeah. Work hard somewhere else because now you're screwing me
Right.
over.
Now I'm never letting you work in again.
Yeah. Now you've just ruined it for the next person that has to work in with me because I'm like, you know what? I've been burned before.
And there's a lot of those people. The other people, which is why I wanted to try to get into this topic, was I saw a post online from somebody that you actually did an interview with. They put up a post about an individual that could use to lose a few pounds, out of shape. And there's plenty of these kind of people in the gym. But the fact of the matter is that these people come to the gym to change who they are. And the reason why I put this post up and what really kind of pissed me off about it was that somebody had gone on and commented about they have no business being in there. Like they're too heavy, they're too this, they're too that. But the truth of the matter is that not all of us went to the gym for the first time ever in our lives, strong, in shape. Some of us may have had some excess weight that we wanted to lose. Whatever the case is, whatever your main objective for going there for the first time was.
Yeah.
And the biggest reservation for people going into a gym is just that. Now, I understand the judgment-free zone, the whole idea behind Planet Fitness thing. But the fact of the matter is let's be honest, the gym can't stop somebody from saying something and they can't stop what their thoughts are.
Right.
But with that said, you can't be negative and you can't shame somebody for trying to better their life. The gym is it's not your own personal gym. It's not like my house where I have my own gym and I have my own equipment or whatever. But I would still never shame somebody who is out of shape for coming here and getting a workout in with me. I'd probably praise them because it's not the easiest thing to motivate yourself to get healthy, to lose weight. It's not easy. it's probably harder for somebody to lose weight and gain muscle than it is for somebody like you or I to make a little bit of gains in strength over the same period of time.
Yeah.
We already have the structure and the motivation. We know that the goals will come with time. But somebody like that is challenging their own self-image and challenging their goals. The last thing they need is somebody to shame them or give them dirty looks or be snickering with somebody in the gym looking at them. So how do we as culture of people change that? Or for that matter, hold those accountable for not behaving like that and being more proactive about saying like, I don't know, hey man, I noticed you've been in here all week. Just keep going, keep pushing. Those things make a difference in that individual's focus and their thought process and how they feel about going there to continue that progress.
So I would say there's a difference between trying to be better about how you handle a situation and then taking the next step and encouraging somebody because that just may not be you. But I think in general, companies, slogans, individuals need to stop putting impossible goals on people. Judgment-free zone doesn't exist. Everybody judges.
Yep.
Everybody judges. I judge every single person that comes in there to different levels, and I judge myself even harder. I judge every single individual that comes in on January 1st, but I also praise the people that stick around. I judge that situation because it's an inconvenience to me, not because I dislike an individual.
Even though we know that in that circumstance, like by the end of the month, 95% of those people that signed up to change their goals aren't going to be there anymore.
Yeah, it's a deficiency in somebody's personality to judge, but everybody does it. So it's natural to judge, but you just have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of why you're doing it, and that's the biggest thing. Because I won't say that I continuously judge. It's not like it's a constant stream of judgment, but there are moments where you can't help it. But I have awareness of it. Like, why am I doing that?
Like that guy. I mean, the moments that you're talking about that you can't help, like
Those are thoughts. You can't control those.
we've both been in the gym. We've both seen an attractive person, training, working hard, whatever, just looks great.
Yep.
And then there's all like guys like you and me will just go about our business.
Yep.
Notice, go about our business.
Yeah.
Finish our workout, not spend a large objective amount of time focused on that individual. But there's always that one guy that he has to walk by them 35 times. And it's not just a casual walk. It's literally a fucking rooster walk.
Yep.
Chest out, head held high, just strutting back and forth. Fuck those people.
Yeah, they got to make sure they've
Those are the people that deserve to be judged.
seen their pump. They got to make sure that they've seen them. They have the best opportunity.
Right. Look at about 5-inch shorts. Look at my leg definition.
Yeah.
I'll never understand that. And there's plenty of people that do it.
Yeah.
And then there's also plenty of people that are in phenomenal shape and you would never fucking know it because they go in with like these oversized fucking sweatpants on or sweatshirt. They always have their hood up, which is another signal like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm in here at work.
Leave me alone.
And they are probably some of the nicest, quietest people in the gym that are also more times than not pretty fucking fit.
But because they understand the process of getting to that point. So they have more of a respect for it. And so if you tell somebody not to do something, how hard is it for them to, it's pretty hard to like, yeah, you can't do this. And if it's something that is natural to a person, they want to do it or they'll fixate on it. And you tell somebody, listen, there's no judgment around here. There's more judgment at Planet Fitness than there is just about anywhere.
True.
And so people go there because they don't want to judge or be judged, but
They all go there now because it's cheap.
but they also fixate on it too. So when you go into a place expecting not to see something, it amplifies when you do see it. So you hyper focus or hyper fixate on something, and you're telling individuals not to be a human being. Like, just don't act on it, right? You can't control your thoughts.
Yeah.
If you have a thought about judgment, don't say something. Why? What's the point? What could possibly be the benefit of, hey, I just had a judgmental thought about you. Right? I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't tell you about it. Right. That's the point.
Right.
So understanding that you have those thoughts is the first step in not continuously having additional thoughts or, "Hey, I had that thought. It was there. It was a shitty move on my part. Shitty thought on my part is what it is. Let's do better moving forward." You probably won't have as many of those thoughts, at least about that individual, maybe in general,
Yeah.
moving forward, but it takes awareness.
It does take awareness. And, you know, like,
You have to be aware that it's bad, though. Like,
you have to understand that it's bad, but you also have to understand, you know, like I had said, that everybody has a starting point.
Mhm.
And not everybody's starting point is the same.
No.
You know, like there are people in this world that are athletically gifted or just like I had some friends growing up that like I don't understand, like they were ridiculously strong and ridiculously in shape just genetically.
Yeah.
And you know, like good for them, but a large percent of the population was not that way. I was maybe 135 pounds soaking wet when I was in high school.
Right.
And that's why I went to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be that way anymore. I wanted, like, as I got older, the main thing that I wanted to do was to just not be that skinny individual. I didn't want to be a target of somebody's stupidness. Right. And
You didn't wanna be judged.
I didn't care about being judged, but
Didn't you, though?
I mean, I knew I was like a fucking skinny kid. So if somebody came up to me and was like, "You're a fucking skinny little twerp," like I already fucking knew that. He's pointing out anything that I didn't or I wasn't already so aware of. I just want to be able to that if you decide you want to try to bully me and pick on me because I was smaller, I just wanted to be in a position where like if I punch your face, I want you to realize I punched your face and not have it be like, "Nah, I'm really gonna
I
shit out."
I even feel it because of how skinny you are.
Fuck. Probably broke your forearm because you little piece of shit. Like I didn't want to be that way. So that was my motivation for growing. So maybe that's why it aggravates me so much that people are so judgmental that way because yeah, like the first time I went to the gym, I don't even think I could bench the bar with 2 10-pound plates on the side of it.
So here's the kicker when it comes to judgment. I judge myself harder than anybody can judge me.
Yes.
And I most people probably do that to a certain extent.
I think we both have said it, laying underneath some weight and some exercise where you have looked at yourself in the mirror, again, not in an arrogant way, but just self-reflection.
Yeah.
Um, and said, don't be a fucking pussy. Or said it to yourself mid-rep when you're struggling. Like, just don't be a fucking pussy. Don't give up on yourself. But that doesn't mean that we have the right to look at somebody else who might be struggling or is there for all the reasons and call them that.
I agree, but the thing is, most things that people are, I would say, offended by or feel, feel judged by that really offends them, or really hurts them, are things that they've judged themselves on.
Yes.
And so if you sat there and you've judged yourself and said, "I'm too skinny, I'm too weak, I don't like the way this muscle looks," or whatever you could say equally outside of the gym, but more specifically in the gym, you've said these things about yourself based off of how you look. If somebody regurgitates that back to you, that's going to be hurtful to you because you're already judging yourself. Now, if you're feeling, man, I wish my body looked like this. I wish I was stronger in this area. And someone says to you, "Man, you got a really big pinky toe."
Right.
Like you're going to look at them like, "What the fuck? Okay. Thank you. Thank you."
First of all, you're a weirdo for staring at my feet.
But with the thing that you already judge yourself for, you're probably going to feel less awkward about it or less offended by it. You're gonna want to know more. I mean, it might be something that turns into like an insecurity later on because you're like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize that people were staring at my thinking toe like that." But you're typically going to be more offended by the things that you're already judging yourself off of. So again, that awareness and looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, "This is where I'm struggling to see myself. This is where I struggle to get beyond the insecurities that I have about myself." When I hope other people don't notice. And when they do, "Oh my God, this is how I'm going to feel." You have to get beyond that for yourself because once you do, then most things that people can judge you for, I've already processed that. I don't care. I don't care that I have a giant bicep and my forearm's too skinny and there's an awkwardness. Like I'm working on getting it better. Like,
Right.
not saying that's me, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's, you get beyond the awkwardness of the things that you're insecure about. And after you do that, words can't offend you when they're centered around those insecurities anymore.
There's, there's also something else that needs to be part of the reflection process. And that is that there was a guy that went to the Big Sky in, I think it's Plainville, but it's really in New Britain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was a heavier guy. Like the whole time I was going there, I never saw any change in him, right? This dude would get on the elliptical for a half hour, 45 minutes. He'd be sweating like crazy. Anytime I ever got on the elliptical, and I played sports a good portion of my life, I'm fucking gassed after 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm getting at is that, like,
Yeah.
you might be shitting on this person because they're a little bit heavy or whatever else, but that's not an easy machine to use. It definitely pries your entire upper body aerobically.
Yeah.
And here's this man who's easily 3 times my weight, that if I had to be in an endurance race with him on this fucking thing, he's laughing at me while I'm falling off the fucking machine.
Right.
So you never know, like,
No.
he can also be the strongest fucking guy in the gym.
There's some sneakily strong people out there. And to your point, and maybe this is a character deficiency on my part, because we're talking about judgment here, right? I judge harder somebody that goes to the gym all the time with zero changes, without knowing the backstory, without knowing what is they're there for, without knowing, hey, maybe this is their limitation.
Right.
Whatever. But seeing them there for years and years and years and make zero changes, typically this is accompanied by bad form. You know, when they're working out with bad form and there's no changes and they're happy with themselves.
Bad form or they literally in a rut. I mean, the same exercises, same way. Like, even though you could push yourself and maybe get 12 reps,
Yeah.
but your routine is you're going to come in and you're going to do 4 sets of 10, and it doesn't matter how easy, how light it is. You're going to do your 4 sets of 10
And bounce.
of that weight and out.
I judge wrongly that person who is happy with
I
hitting.
think of somebody like that.
Well,
Both know.
Yeah, of course. Happy with hitting that ceiling and never try to push beyond that. Then I do the person who is overweight, just starting out, hasn't worked out in 20, 30 years, doesn't know what to do, is completely confused. I will take that person and be like, let's go.
I will take that person all day long than over the rooster guy,
Yeah.
over the people that have to stare at themselves in the mirror and flex.
Yeah.
I will take them over the constant people that are, once in a while, I don't have an issue with people making videos trying to record your accomplishment.
Yep.
But every single time you're in there for a workout, like, fuck off. The place is there to do work.
Yep.
Not to make it your own personal social media studio.
Yeah.
Because those people that are in there for whatever reason, to get stronger, to lose weight or whatever, they're in there with a goal. And once you get through that first essentially 4 weeks where you got to make it part of your routine, even though they say that a routine like that really inherently comes faster than that. But I think when it comes to going to the gym and exercising, I think it takes longer. Not because it's not, like anything else, like getting up in the early after a few days, like your body will just naturally start to wake up. It's because you don't see progress as quickly. So when you're in there and you're looking to lose weight, and people make a mistake on this, they weigh themselves every single day and they're measuring every single metric and whatever else. But what they don't understand is that the human body naturally fluctuates water weight every single day. If you're gonna weigh yourself every single day, you should weigh yourself at the same time every day with the same things happening beforehand so that it regulates about where your body's at on a regular basis.
Yep.
And when it comes to strength, when you've never been in a gym and you're in there and you're working on whatever your muscle group is, it takes a long time to really start making some real good improvements weight-wise. Because again, to your point, like, you have to make sure that you're doing the exercise properly. And to be able to get that down right, one, you need help. You need somebody who's willing to help guide you when you're not doing an exercise correctly. And it takes a long time to get that practice to become muscle memory, where now when you do start adding weight to those exercises, you will start to see the progress come.
Yeah.
But the progress doesn't always come in the mirror. And I think people fail at that because they want to be able, like, like you said, they want to be able to flex in the mirror and see those big biceps or, chest definition or shoulder definition or whatever the case may be. And that stuff comes in time. It's not something that's going to happen when you first start fucking going. And
It's immediate gratification that people seek, and
right,
it's the wrong place for it.
that is weight training and exercising is not the place where you're going to get immediate gratification.
You will get immediate gratification when you've gotten to a certain point, because then from that day forward, when you've reached your muscular goals, maybe you've cut and you see all the veins and you see all these little differences between your muscles. Yes, then you can go to the gym, you can get a pump and you can flex and you can get happy every single time you're
Right.
there. Completely get that. But people they need to be aware of that, yeah, it absolutely takes time. It's a phased approach when it comes to the gym. It's a
Yes.
phased approach in that you're going to go there, you're going to be confused, you're going to feel good internally about starting something.
Yep.
You're going to be confused when you're there, maybe a little insecure and want to quit. Then you're going to still be happy that you're doing it. You're going to tell somebody you're doing it. They're going to be proud of you, and it's going to make you want to go back again. You're going to go there and you're going to feel insecure. It's going to be a back and forth battle. And then you start seeing the progress. Maybe you start feeling a little bit better. Maybe if it's for medical reasons, you might see numbers move up or down depending on what your health condition is and all that. And that's good. Maybe you're going to get different comments from your spouse, and that's going to feel good. Maybe you're prepping for a wedding and you got to keep your eyes on the prize, and it's tough. So as you start to see the progress, then your goals start to shift. And the longer you go to the gym, then you start to become familiar with more people. They become more like family, so to speak.
Right.
Maybe family you don't speak to, but it's like at a comfort level.
No, but yeah, to your point, like those are the people that, when you're not sure about something or sure about how to use a machine or whatever, these are the people that you see every single day. Like it might be the people behind the counter. It could be somebody who's there working out, but you feel less awkward about saying, "Hey, I've never used this machine."
Yeah.
You like, or hey, I want to try to do something a little more than I did last time, and you're no longer shy to the point of asking.
Right. Right.
And you're right though. Like when you've been in a gym for a period of time and you're going in consistently at the same time, you do get to know the people that are there. And the people do start to recognize that you're putting in the work and that you are achieving your goals, because the hardest person to see your accomplishments is you.
Yep.
You look at yourself every single day and you don't see the changes, but the person who hasn't seen you in 3 weeks or a month will notice those differences immediately.
Yep. Yep.
And it's something to remember. It's something to keep in mind when you're that person in there being judgmental and looking at somebody else or whatever. And you're going to have those thoughts, but you don't know where they started.
Yeah.
And you don't know where they are in their journey.
Yeah.
And so it could be they want for
You don't even know why you judge. And here's the thing, because I have conversations about this kind of stuff, every so often, talking about like the people that you hate. And it's funny. Like
there's always here, I don't care what gym you go to, there's always at least one person when you work as there's an individual and you're like,
yeah,
fuck that person.
Your gym nemesis is kind of what they call it.
Yep.
And here's the thing about that gym nemesis. As much as you hate them, you also know I can't live without you. Like you are part of my experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like the person at work that you hate, but it's always someone that you go back home and you talk to your spouse like, oh, fucking Tammy
Yep.
did this or said that. And,
Yep.
and it becomes part of your experience. You actually hate that person? No, because if that person decided to talk to you, chances are you'd be very receptive to it. But it's the story you tell yourself in your head, and it becomes light fuel. And God forbid that your gym nemesis is someone who's bigger or stronger than you.
Oh, yeah.
Then it becomes someone that you can't stand when they do something good.
And you'll push harder just to,
yeah.
It's weird. You're right. Like that nemesis, you'll push harder to do certain things when they're there, just in case they're looking at you, so that for, I don't know, You get this fucking psychotic thought process like fuck you, look what I just did. Well, they don't give a shit about you.
It's like the
They're
scene.
probably not even looking at you. You probably don't even know you exist, but you're right. They're your nemesis. So you're like, fuck them, and they don't even know you hate them.
Yeah.
The gym is definitely it's an environment of its own.
Yeah.
It's a place to do work.
Yeah.
It's a place to be respectful of others. It's a social environment. If you're going to be antisocial, let everybody know that you are antisocial by wearing over the ear headphones, put your hood up, have a resting bitch face, not rude in the gym. It just says you're there to do business. Also make sure that you are respectful of your environment. Nobody wants to hear you fucking grunting. Everybody has headphones on. Don't fart because we can all fucking still smell it.
We sure can.
And if you are the kind of person that sweats a lot, let's clean up after yourself. Put your shit away when you're done. Also, we're going to talk about something taboo right now.
Go for it.
The old dudes, put your fucking balls away.
Yeah.
I don't need to walk into the gym and see you and 12 other old dudes with your nuts swinging around, having a conversation about some bullshit that nobody cares about while everybody else is just there to get changed, take a quick shower or whatever. Like, put a towel around yourself. Like, I get it, but it doesn't mean everybody else is comfortable with it.
I will say this. Your balls are going to do what your balls are going to do. It's what you do while your balls are doing what your balls are going to do. That's the problem. You don't need to have a conversation while your balls are reaching for the ground.
Well, I mean, in a gym that you and I have gone into multiple times, I have walked in there one time, and there's the one dude that goes there. He's not my nemesis, but like every time I see him, I just wanted to fucking punch his face. And I have gone into the locker room multiple times, and this dude constantly has to be naked in the locker room. And I've seen him multiple times with his foot up on the bench while a dude was sitting on the bench with his meat just kind of swinging around, and everybody there is comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But like your man parts don't need to be 6 inches away from another man's face while you guys are talking about your fucking investments.
Yeah, right.
Everything about that is weird.
Yeah.
That's not a homophobic statement. Like, I don't care what somebody does in their own privacy of their bedroom or whatever lifestyle they live. I don't care. I've never thought about being in the locker room and worried that there was, other men in there that, or maybe like, I never worried about that. The thing that don't bother me.
I mean, you don't even have to qualify with that. I wouldn't be having a conversation with you while my armpit is so close to your face. Like, it's an awkward situation. You don't need to be.
All the years I played hockey, guys would put towels around themselves, drop their pants, walk into the shower. Towel would go over the shower curtain. You take your shower, towel comes back in around your waist. They pulled their underwear up, covered all their man parts. Towel came down. Everybody went about their business. Why is it that the gym locker room is like,
If you and Bob,
it's like a fucking nudist festival right there?
if you and Bob are comfortable with that, go to Bob's. But that's the thing. It's the lack of awareness that other people might be uncomfortable with that. I don't care what your proclivities are.
Right.
It's that you assume that because you are comfortable that way, and there's nothing wrong with being comfortable that way, but not everybody is.
Not everybody is, right.
Not everybody is.
It's not like I'm somebody at the nudist beach with my shorts on while everybody else is naked, and then I'm bitching that everybody is naked. It's a fucking nudist beach.
Yeah. Have a conversation while you're in the process of getting dressed and all that stuff. Cool. Like you're continuing the conversation that you started, or all you were already dressed or whatever. But keep it moving.
Right.
Keep it moving.
There's
no point standing there like
that's the only gym that I've ever been to where guys consistently stand there buck ass naked, not even attempting to get dressed, just having full on conversations about nonsense.
Yeah, I can't stand like this at home. So like I'm gonna come.
Yeah, my wife doesn't want to see me this way, so maybe my friend Joe at the gym wants to see me just standing around naked with my meat swinging around like that. Oh,
Different Joe, by the way.
it is a different gym. No, the story is a different gym.
Yeah. Just have a little bit of awareness, and that's really what it comes down to. Having awareness that you slopped up the bench that you got off of, clean it up. Have awareness that there are other people that don't need to carry the weights that you put on the machine. Re-rack it. Have awareness not to be flexing in front of somebody else in the mirror that someone else is also using, or in front of the weight rack. Have awareness that nobody wants to be a part of your gym video. It's okay to want to do these things, but have awareness.
Right.
Have awareness.
Right. 100%. So thank you guys for listening. Check out Joe, the next 24. Check out my pages, Gaines Brewing, the Brew for Life podcast, and
The next 24, TH3.
TH3.
Next 24.
Right. Not THC, TH3, the number 3.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thank you. Talk to you real soon.